welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emma. I'm a second year first grade teacher and this is my classroom tour. So I did a classroom tour last year. If you did not see it, I will make sure to link it in the cards for you. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this classroom tour is not that different. If you watched like my classroom prep videos or my classroom setup videos, you'll see the little things that I tweaked. The only things that really changed were things that just were not as functional for the kids. So if I had any cute fonts or things that they couldn't really read, that's the kind of stuff that I changed this year. I was just more purposeful with my space, but some of it's pretty similar. I'm sure this will change as the year goes on. It did last year so many different times. This is just where I'm at right now. I hope you enjoy it and I hope you get some good inspiration from it. And if you're new here, before we get started, I would love for you to subscribe down below so that you don't miss out on all my videos. I upload every single Sunday. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me there. It's also Elementary with Emma. Let's get started. So let's start at my favorite place, which is my door. This contact paper is from Target. And I made this on PowerPoint. If you watch setup, this will look familiar to you. I made this on PowerPoint. We've got our special schedule right here again that I made on PowerPoint because I always forget where we go. So I just put a little clothespin that I switch for each day. Then we have our morning routine. I love, love, love this morning routine. Again, just made it on PowerPoint. That's pretty much most of my classroom. But I just have noticed such a huge difference with this. I feel like it really builds their independence and I just have gotten a lot of good feedback on it. And then I had to cover this because it had our school name, but that is their morning routine. Then we have our girls' bathroom, nothing fancy. This is real life. This is like my storage closet. I guess I can show you. Not pretty, but just has a lot of curriculum, snacks, read alouds, extra books, all the things. And then moving this way, again, it's not perfect, but this is just real life. This is where all of my student stuff goes. So here are all of my school supplies, extra things, and then I've got my monthly read alouds that I put over on my book display. Every month I change them out. And then these are my students' supply bins. Some of them are from Amazon, some of them are from Walmart. It's kind of a hot mess, but that's real. These little tassels are from Target. This is kind of my student area. So this top one, I let them put their water bottles if they want to keep their water bottles at school. This has some cleaning supplies that they're allowed to use, so some wipes and then a dustpan in case they spill something. This is my students' cart. So here are what the drawers look like, and then on top I also have some hand sanitizer and the pencil bins that I use. So we've got my turn-in bin, my mailbox, early finishers, lost and found. These are an early finisher that's like a phonics game. These go with our math games, some card math games, bump it. These are going to be filled once we do introduce more, but they are empty right now. I'm trying to not show you. I wrote all their names for their tier 2 groups. So I've got clipboards, the tier 2 like book bins, and then this is the pocket chart that tells them where to go, and it matches with these book bins. Moving along this way, we've got all of my playstations. I do have an entire video up on my channel. I will link it in the cards that I told you all of our creation stations, because these are not all of them, and all of my morning choice. And I explained like the purpose of it, why I use it, how I use it, all that kind of stuff. So these are our creation stations. This is our art lab bin. So this is just full of different art supplies that they can use if they're at the art lab. And then this is what the pocket chart looks like. So I flipped their names around, but basically they just look and see where they're at for the day, and it tells them what bin to grab, what they're going to do. They really like it. I used it last year, I do it again this year, and I love it so far. And then this is just a little area for them to hang their art when they're at the art lab, especially if they paint, then it will dry. So I don't have too much art on display right now because they really like to take it home, but I just wanted to have this option. Then we've got my cool down spot. So this pillow I got gifted. This is from Target. And then inside of my cool down kit, we've got a wide variety of things. We have just some books about breathing and feelings. We've got a little whiteboard, a bunch of fidgets, this little bubble timer, we have our friend the Pout Pout fish. So those all live there. And if you're wondering what in the world these cards are, they are a Write the Room activity that we're gonna do. So they're not always up, but then coming over this way is my classroom library. These are my A to Z readers that I give them. They are called Old Friends. That's what we call them, at least. And it's just books that are at their level. So that's just how I store them. These are my library bins. I did get new library bins this year just so they were more kid friendly. They had pictures and they could pull from it a little bit easier. And yeah, and then this rug is from IKEA. And then these are their book bins. So inside of their book bins, they have a baggie that has a bookmark, an old friend, and then joy books. This doesn't have joy books because they just returned them, but their joy books are these books. So they get to check out 5 every 2 weeks, and then they keep them for 2 weeks. And then they always have an A to Z reader so that they kind of have a little bit of both. These baggies are great. They're from Amazon. I use them all over my room. They also have a couple of folders, one of which is their catch-up folder, so unfinished work goes in that one. And then they have 2 notebooks or journals. This friend has 3. Not sure why. Last year I had them all under here, and I was not a huge fan of how that worked. So I switched it and I put them up here, and I was a little nervous it would be too cluttered, but I actually really, really like how it works. And I feel like it flows a lot easier and they're able to access it better. So I really like these here. And then this is kind of just a mess, but you know, real life. So we've got our indoor recess games right here. And then we have whiteboards for students, and then puzzles, which also kind of goes with indoor recess. We've got our Monday journals. So we actually haven't even started these yet, but every Monday we are going to fill out our Monday journal, and once we start those, I will just keep them here. I have some more, these are like our writing curriculum, Blevins. This is my Holy Grail notebook binder that has everything I could ever need in it. I have this tub full of curriculum and copies, so it's just kind of organized by subject area, month of the year if I have special crafts. This is just all of my extra copies. These are more curriculum books. This is all pretty much like grades and assessments. And then I have a sub tub, which I highly, highly recommend if you're a new teacher getting a sub tub, because it just makes everything so much easier. So I've got everything I could ever need for a sub in this little book bin from Target. And then I've got my student work bin, as well as my student data. So this is where I store their work for the memory book that I make them at the end of the year. I didn't really show you my bulletin boards, so I've got this readers or leaders board, and then I also have this work display, which I actually have something up on it, but I had to take it down to film this video because of privacy. So this is where I display all of their work. And then after their book bins, I've got these privacy folders that I just made with duct tape, as well as these dry erase sleeves, just so that they're easy for the students to access because we use them pretty often. And then this is what behind my desk kind of looks like, so every day of the week. And then I've got random supplies in this one. I have small group supplies in this one, and this one says miscellaneous. It's pretty much like my snacks. And then I've got my mini fridge, my microwave, my iPad, and then my teacher toolbox, as well as just like pens and all the things I could ever need. I can't show you too much of my bulletin board because I have a lot of pictures of students, but this is like the bulletin board behind my desk. I made this year because last year I had so many students asking me like how to spell my name, and I kept having to write it on the board, and I figured this was just a simple way for them to know how to spell my name. So there's that. And then these are my number posters. I love these. I replaced these this year. I'm so happy with how they turned out. I do wish there was a 0, but I have yet to solve that problem, so it's obviously not that big of a deal. And then I just have this kidney table, which is so beautiful. Like, look how pretty that is. As well as these stools. These are from Amazon. My chair is from Walmart, and it's worked pretty well so far. My backpack is from Amazon as well. It's a diaper bag, and I'm obsessed with it. It has worked so well for me. I had it last year, still going strong this year. Coming up on my whiteboard, first I have this You Will Need, and I just made all this on PowerPoint, but I think there's TPT products that are similar. This spice rack just holds whatever read aloud we've done. And then I also added this border just to make our whiteboard a little bit cuter. And then we've got our daily schedule. So I move this little arrow depending on where we are. This is our calendar that we use every single day. And then these magnetic numbers that I keep in here, they're from Amazon. Actually, I don't know if they're from Amazon. I think I ordered them with our like school supply order that we are allowed or allotted. And I really like them for practicing writing the short date because I always want them to practice the short date on their paper and stuff, but I hate writing the date every day. So this has been a good solution for me. This is where I put our junior teacher of the day. I just clip a new name every single day and they're in here. I've got my pointers because my junior teacher who does our calendar time gets to pick a different pointer. We've got my affirmations down here. I also have got this rug, which is so beautiful. It's a little bit small for my space, but I am ordering with a PTO grant a new one, like an actual big classroom rug, but because it's through a grant and all this stuff and I can't just like order it on Amazon myself or anything, it's like through this website. Anyway, it's this whole big thing. Because I don't want to buy a rug myself. They're so expensive. It takes so long. So I have this one temporarily and it's very pretty. I'm not going to lie. It's just a little bit small. Let's see, coming over this way. Like I said, these are my numbers from up there. This is our warm and fuzzy system. So I keep these in here. They're just like a magnetic 20 frame. And whenever they make my heart feel warm and fuzzy, they get to add a point, and then once we get to all the way to 20, we have a class party, and then they get to vote for what they want to do for that class party. This is my early finisher, so they know when they finish an assignment early, they have to look up on the board and see what their early finisher option is at that moment. So I've got a sight word, like coloring page, like a color by sight word, a phonics game, could be a math game, like in that cart all the way over there that I showed you. That's what those are for. Play-Doh, silent read. This is my rocking chair. It's so cute. It's from my mother-in-law. I've got my color posters that I made. Oh, my clock and my number line. Didn't really show you that. Not too special, but then we've got our boys' bathroom, and this is actually shared with the teacher who I share a wall with. We share this boys' bathroom, and then we have the cafe next to our boys' bathroom. So this is one of our creation stations, and this might be a favorite of my kids every single time. I change it out every couple months or so. So I've got this one right now. There's also, I've done like a pumpkin cafe kind of thing. I've done a Starbucks coffee shop. I like to just change these signs and things that I have rather than changing out too much or like going and buying anything. It's just much cheaper. And we're on this wall, so we've got our alphabet lines. This is our like learning bulletin board. When we make anchor charts and learn new things, we add them up here. I have my scoop rockers and my lap desks. Last year I had a whole stack of lap desks, but we don't have to eat lunch in the classroom this year, so I only have them use these lap desks for when they're at the sandbox creation station. I've got a bin full of headphones, really fun, and then this iPad cart and my square spots. And then these square spots are used for either silent reading time, or if they're at a creation station on the floor and they want a comfy spot, they can grab those. I really like those. We've got my word wall. Then we have our birthday display right here, which I can't show you because obviously it has all of their names on it. I've also got these mailboxes, so they put their folder in here every morning, which is that picture. These are things for me, so either I want to put that on the outside of the door. Office note folders in here. Obviously Kleenex and hand sanitizer. I also have these line spots. These are just made with Cricut permanent vinyl. And now we are at the back of the room. So here is just a little overview. This is the setup that I have. I did not do any flexible seating this year. All the chairs do have these little yoga bands that are from Amazon, and I really like those just to get their wiggles out a little bit. But last year each table had a different flexible seating. And then each week I would have to rotate the seats and try to make sure it was even. And it was just too much to keep track of and move their seats every week. And just with going on maternity leave this year, I didn't really want to mess with it. And also I had a lot of issues with it. So I just went back to these regular seats. So far it's worked great. I still do have, of course, like some options, and I do still have my yoga balls. I didn't like get rid of them or anything. I think it's been better for me to just have it be a temporary thing that they get to use the flexible seating, and this is more everyday normal seats. Yeah, and then I have a little desk here for if a friend needs it and just needs to be isolated a little bit. This is the overview of my room. I really love my room. It's very neutral, very calming. I'm not a huge color fan or like boho rainbow fan. I don't know, I just really like the basic neutral, and I think it's timeless, and I think it's gonna last me a long time, and I just really enjoy my room. And that pretty much wraps up my classroom. I hope you enjoyed this tour. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below telling me what your favorite part of the classroom was. I would love to hear your feedback, or if you have any ideas for me, I would love that. Make sure that you are subscribed before you go so that you don't miss all of my future videos. Follow me on Instagram, all of the things. Thank you so much for watching and for being here and for supporting me, and I will see you next time. Bye.